I came home a day early. I shouldn't have. I thought I knew my wife of 12 years. Sarah was always the organized one, the planner, the one who kept our life running smoothly while I traveled for work. She was a graphic designer who worked mostly from home, and I was in sales, which meant I was on the road 3 weeks out of every month. It wasn't ideal, but the money was good, and we were saving for our dream house. The first sign something was wrong came during a call from Denver. I'd been in back-to-back meetings all day and finally had a moment to check in. When Sarah answered, she sounded different, breathless, almost like she'd been running. "Oh, hey, honey," she said, and I could hear rustling in the background. I was just reorganizing the closet. It struck me as odd because she'd never been one for spontaneous cleaning projects, but I brushed it off. Over the next few months, these strange calls became more frequent. She'd answer late, sound distracted, or sometimes not answer at all, texting me hours later with explanations that seemed rehearsed. Sorry, was in the shower, phone was in the other room, was helping mom with groceries, always something. The real wake-up call came when I decided to surprise her. I'd finished my meetings in Phoenix a day early and caught a red-eye home instead of staying the extra night as planned. I wanted to surprise her with breakfast in bed, maybe rekindle some of the romance that had been lacking lately. I pulled into our driveway at 6 a.m., quietly unlocked the front door, and immediately noticed something was off. There were 2 coffee cups in the sink. Sarah never drank more than 1 cup, and she always washed dishes immediately. Men's cologne lingered in the air, something woody and expensive that definitely wasn't mine. My heart started racing, but I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe her brother had stayed over, but his car wasn't outside. I crept upstairs, each step feeling like it might give me away. Her bedroom door was closed, which was unusual. Sarah always slept with it open because she liked the cross breeze. I stood outside that door for what felt like an eternity, hand hovering over the handle, hoping I was wrong about what I'd find. When I finally opened it, the sight hit me like a physical blow. Sarah was there, tangled in our sheets, with a man I'd never seen before. He was younger, maybe late 20s, with the kind of build that comes from actually having time to go to the gym. They didn't notice me at first. I just stood there, watching my entire world crumble in real time. When Sarah finally saw me, the color drained from her face so quickly I thought she might faint. "David," she whispered, pulling the sheet up to cover herself. "You're not supposed to be home until tomorrow." That phrase, "you're not supposed to be home," cut deeper than anything else she could have said. Confirmed this wasn't some spontaneous mistake. This was planned, routine, timed around my travel schedule. The young man, Jake, I later learned, grabbed his clothes and practically ran out of the house, mumbling apologies I could barely hear over the ringing in my ears. Sarah sat there, sheet clutched to her chest, crying and trying to explain, but I wasn't listening anymore. I was calculating how many business trips I'd taken recently, how many nights she'd had the house to herself, how many times I'd called and heard that breathless voice. The divorce was brutal. During the process, I discovered Sarah had been having affairs for nearly 3 years. Jake wasn't her first, and he wouldn't be her last. We'd met them on dating apps and coffee shops, at the gym she joined to stay healthy while you're away so much. That was the gym membership I'd encouraged and paid for, thinking I was supporting her wellness journey. What destroyed me wasn't just the betrayal, it was realizing how completely I'd been living in a fantasy. Every "I love you" when I called from hotel rooms, every "I miss you" text, every welcome home kiss had been a lie. She turned our entire marriage into an elaborate performance, and I'd been the only one who didn't know it was an act. Friends tried to console me by saying she was the one with the problem, that I'd been a good husband. But that almost made it worse. If I'd been terrible, at least there would have been a reason. Instead, I was left with the crushing realization that sometimes people betray you not because you failed them, but simply because they can. The hardest part now isn't the loneliness or the financial hit from the divorce. It's the way every memory feels contaminated. Our anniversary dinners, our weekend getaways, even quiet nights watching TV together. I can't think about any of it without wondering if she was texting someone else while I was getting us popcorn, or if she was comparing me to whoever she'd been with that afternoon. I've learned to live with it, but trust, that's something I'm not sure I'll ever get back.